Today in this video series, I'm going to start a new series called Bootstrap. Bootstrap, as you know, is a very popular CSS framework. So I decided to create a video series for this. So the first question is, what is Bootstrap? Bootstrap is a CSS framework. If you know JavaScript and jQuery, then you might be knowing that jQuery is framework of JavaScript. Similarly, Bootstrap is framework of CSS. That means what? That means someone else, some other designer has already written classes for you. You need to learn how to use those classes. You don't have to write the classes. So that is the power of Bootstrap, and that is Bootstrap. Actually, this Bootstrap is from Twitter. As you know, that Twitter is a microblogging website, and the designer who was working in Twitter actually created the CSS framework for Twitter only, but later it was decided to release it under the GPL or the public license. So initially, when Bootstrap was not created for the public, but the Twitter website only. But this Bootstrap is a byproduct of the Twitter website. So initially, even the designer of the Bootstrap didn't know that this framework will be so popular around the world. Not only popular, but this will become an integral part of any website designer. So now let's see its brief history from Twitter itself. So let's go to Twitter's this Bootstrap website, and you can see it says that originally created by the designer and the developer of Twitter. As you can see, this is developed by the designer and developer of the Twitter. Bootstrap has become one of the most popular front-end framework and open source project in the world. Bootstrap was created at Twitter in mid 2010 by MDO and Fed. This is the Twitter handler of those guys who has created this. Prior to being an open secure framework, Bootstrap was known as Twitter Blueprint. Just remember, its name was Boot, uh, Twitter Blueprint, not Bootstrap. Okay. Later, it was renamed. A few months into development, Twitter held its first hack week, and the project exploded as the developers to skills levels jumped into without any external guidance. So later its name was uh, renamed as Bootstrap. So guys, you can see that initially in 2000 mid 2010 the Twitter was released, and I myself have been working on this Twitter Bootstrap framework from 2012. So it has been around 10 years since I myself have been working on this framework. Now all theory, so we will see that how we can set up this Bootstrap into our local machine. Okay, so there are two ways we can set up this. So there are two ways by which you can use this Bootstrap. So the first is by downloading the source file or by CDN. So I will show you both the ways how you can set up the Bootstrap. Okay, so first let me show you how to use Bootstrap by downloading. So let's go to this website, and simply you go to Google and write here download Bootstrap, and then this is the latest version by the time this video is recorded. So there are different versions here. So there are different. So the easiest way to download this one is compiled. So it's already pre-compiled, and this is SAS version. So as you know that SAS is a raw format of the CSS which you need to compile. So it's better, let's download this one. Okay, so let's just unzip this, and here just copy it, Control A, Control C, or extract whatever you are comfortable in. And now I will create a directory here. I click in new folder, just I create Bootstrap and paste here. Okay, so if you open the CSS file folder, then you can see a lot of CSS files is inside this. So this is complete Bootstrap file, this one, and this one is minimum. That means this is compressed version. So if you open this, then you can see uh, this is uncompressed version, original version. So if you want to check it, then you can see there are around uh, 10,000 something line in total. There are 10,835 lines, but if you open this one, then you can see there is only 7 lines. That means what? There is compressed version. So normally, and it takes less space while downloading. Okay, here only you can see the difference. This is uncompressed version, so its KB size is 190 uh, uh, 2, and this minimum is, you can see, 153. Okay, so normally we use this one, 153 KB. Apart from that, there is also JavaScript file which is required sometime. So this bootstrap min normally we will use, not other for the time being, but as it will be required, we can use this later also. Okay, so now that you have downloaded the files, now let's create here a new file. So just go here, and then inside bootstrap I will just write here index.html. Okay, index.html, and here html doc type, then bootstrap, bootstrap, and in the body section to check if the bootstrap is working or not, so we will use this class. But before that, we need to call here, so it will be link rel style sheet href css bootstrap strap.min.css. The best is you just copy from here the name and paste. It will be easier, and there will be less chance of this one. You just rename like this and copy, so there will be less chance of making mistake. So just will paste here bootstrap, as well as if you want to check here, if you want to include JavaScript, then it's better to include that in footer section. So you go here, and once again just copy, right click, and then rename, just copy it, and here you need to write script src, and then js slash this. Okay, so that's it. Now inside this body, let's write here uh, button. Okay, just create a simple button. So just I'll write here check, and I'll put here class btn success. This is button class. Okay, so if this runs, that means my bootstrap is working perfectly. Now go here and double click on this, and yes, you can see this button turns into green. So that means what? My bootstrap is working perfectly. Okay, and this is one of the method to include bootstrap. Let me show you the second method, how to include this. So the second method is through bootstrap cdn. So right here in Google, bootstrap cdn. So just click on this, and you can check here this. So copy and just paste in your header section before closing the header. So that's it. You don't have to download anything, it will simply work. Yes, as you can see, there is some problem. This is 5 million, but okay, so why it's not working? Because it says that I'm trying to access this file through this URL. Okay, so if you want to use this, then you have to use in the server, okay, not in the local. Sometimes this causes problem because it says that we are trying to access this through our local or this using this file. Okay, that's why it's getting error. Or else if you will work on local host or you will work on server, then it will work perfectly. So there are two methods through which you can use this bootstrap. Okay, so if you want to run in local, then just change here from https to http. Okay, so in local it should work. Now let's refresh it. Yes, and now it works. Okay, so this way. But remember, when you upload on server, okay, so this way you can also run in your local computer. But remember, when you upload on your server, then you make it once again https. So hope guys this video is enough, and in the further video we will be continuing this. So for the time being, that's it. Stay connected. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.